Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Just want to thank Israel really just for giving me the opportunity to come here and speak to you all about my experience and how I sort of grew up in South London. I work for Xerox. My name's Steve Williams. I've worked for Xerox now for about 7 years. Grew up in South London. I was born in Peckham, then I moved to Elephant Castle, and I spent most of my many years there until I moved out I'm in Forest still now. As a young person, an interesting kind of journey for me. I never really had a sort of a road that I wanted to take. I was raised in a good family home. Went to school, went to college, came out of school, went to college, but didn't really have I was studying a diploma in electronics. I wanted to get into engineering, but unfortunately I didn't finish the course. So I never really had I never stuck to the plan that I had. I came out of college and, my mum said to me, well, you need to sort of get a job. So I started working and I was just doing different odd jobs, just trying to sort of make money, which was a good way out for me because as a young man growing up in South London, I was surrounded by a lot of, I would say, less privileged young men. And subsequently, they were heavily got involved in crime. They were making lots of money, but they were making money the wrong way. And for a period of my life, I was hanging out with these guys. The amazing thing was, even though I knew what they were doing, somehow I had it in me not to do what they were doing. So I was more of a friend as opposed to getting involved, and thank the Lord to this day, I have no criminal record. So there was always something within me that knew that there was something better, and I was better. And that helped me along the way. My journey to where I am now really and truly is believing in myself and recognizing that we all have a gift. And, as the word says, every good gift and every perfect gift comes from above, down from the Father of lights. And we all have a gift. It's where we channel that gift and what we choose to do with the abilities that we have. I started working working in the high street printers. I was literally just doing photocopying and just serving customers. That was, there was no real plan. My brother who was a printer for many years, just got me a job. I was about 20, 21 at the time. And I just worked. That's all I knew to do was work. Worked hard, managed to sort of learn how to speak to customers, learn how to deal with people. And the good thing is that, again, my upbringing, I was instilled with manners. So I always may not have necessarily knew how to deal with situations, but I spoke in a way that had respect for people. And gradually, as I went on, I was working for Kodak. This was back in 1996. And again, I was working, I was doing different shift work. And then I got offered a role as a supervisor. Totally unexpected to me. So I was running the department, running a night shift, every shift I was on. I was in my early 20s at the time. Again, and I thought to myself, wow, if I can do this, surely I can do something else. So then I started to take more risks. So within 18 months, I applied for another role, and I got a job as an operations manager for a legal printing firm. This was in Chancery Lane. At this time, I was 24. Had no clue. I just took the risk. I thought, okay, the money looked good when I saw the role. I applied for it, and I got the job. I managed to run that for a while, and then it just sort of progressed. So I stayed in print. I went to various different companies, but every role I took was a management role. And to the point now where the role I have today is I'm a service delivery account manager. I've had the privilege to work in lots of different places. I've worked in investment banks. I've worked in accountancy firms. I've worked, currently at the moment, I'm looking after London Borough of Lewisham, I'm looking after the London Borough of Guildford in Surrey, and I'm looking after the London Borough of Tandridge in Surrey also, which we're managing all their print, their digital print services. And my role is to oversee all those councils, to oversee the service delivery, the equipment, and to obviously build the relationships with the heads of all those councils. It's busy, it's fast-paced, but it's enjoyable. And I suppose what I'm trying to say here is nothing can stop you. There's nothing in front of you that can stop you achieving your goals except yourself. So whatever you are doing right now in your life, wherever you are, whether you are studying, whether you are pondering on a dream, go for it. Go for it. Don't let nothing stop you. Don't let obstacles in life, anything that is holding you back, any struggles, we will always hit roads, we'll always hit pitfalls in life, but never stop. Never give up on your dream. Even, it doesn't matter if whatever your job you're doing right now, do it with a spirit of excellence, because that spirit of excellence will put you in front of the people that you need to be in front of to take you to higher places. There's no way that you can't achieve what's on your heart, what's on your mind. You can be whatever you've chosen to be, whatever the Lord has chose you to be, you will become. So I just want to say that, I just encourage you all to stay focused in everything that you are doing, to never give up hope, to always believe, and always believe that you're that much better than you think you are, even on your worst days. And that, as I said, that excellent spirit will get you to places. It will get you in front of people that you never imagined. You'll be doing things that you didn't even think you could do. You'll be put in front of people and be speaking about things that, can only come from the spirit from within. So that's what I really want to say. It's just, just to be positive in everything you are doing. It's a privilege to be here to meet you all. And it's encouraging for me also. And it's just to have an encouraging word. As the Lord says, for I know the plans I have for you. And if plans of good and not of evil, and they're to give you a future and a hope. Meditate on those words, because they are powerful. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, that was good. I really understood that spirit of excellence, and when he said that nothing can stop you apart from yourself and your mind, let's go with such things. So next person I'm going to call up, he's a senior lecturer at King's College London, and that's Jon Willson. Sorry. So can we all please make him feel appreciated?
Thank you. It's a real privilege to be here and to follow your very kind of inspirational talk, Steve. Thanks to Israel for organizing this. Israel asked me to say a few words about kind of university lecturer. I've been involved in helping students sort of think about their careers and kind of their journey through life. And Israel wanted me to talk a little bit about what kind of people at university might want to do before they graduate and then afterwards. But I'm going to start before I do that by following in Steve's footsteps and tell you a bit about myself, really. Because some guy shows up, tells you about kind of university, and it seems a bit disconnected from everything else. But I mean, so I'm from a family I'm the first person from my family to go to university. My dad is an engineer. In fact, I'm from a family of printers, so there's a kind of connection back to what Steve was saying. So family of printers who really took education very seriously. My dad became an engineer. And kind of, I guess they were always kind of positive and supportive and kind of about whatever their kids wanted to do. And I kind of was, was one of those kind of annoying kids who was good at things, good at stuff at school. And but I guess kind of the thing I really liked was arguing as a kid, and arguing about politics and arguing about about the world really, and thinking about the world and kind of having a position and perspective on stuff. And, kind of at certain points I really wanted to be an engineer to follow in my dad's footsteps, but it was that, I guess, that desire to communicate, to understand the world and so forth that led me at the age of about 15 or 16 to want to be a journalist. I'm not a journalist, clearly, but that was the thing I really wanted to do. I really wanted to be a journalist. I had a real drive to be a journalist and to, to write, read and kind of write about the world around me and to try and do something to change it. And so I kind of did my A-levels, I applied to universities. I was really lucky, was offered a place at Oxford. I went to Oxford University. I hated it for the first year or so because despite probably what my accent sounds like, it wasn't full of people like me. It was full of people who knew each other from their public schools, from their, they all knew, they sort of, you go, hi, and which school did you go to? And then no one had heard of my school. It was just a normal school, sort of, and then these other people say, hi, whatever, like walking past each other in the street, and I was like, what's going on? These weird towers, this place is fantastic. But kind of, it was somewhere that you could learn, and that's what I wanted to do, and I wanted to, it was somewhere where, the things that I cared about, which was, it really was interested in kind of studying, and also in politics and in kind of arguing and debating, and I found that group of people that were up for that were, actually it was through the Labour Party and how Israel and I know each other, but who were kind of shared that sense of not quite fitting into Oxford, not quite fitting into this weird place. We found, we sort of, and we really wanted to make the world a better place, and that's then I really enjoyed my time there, and went on, and I didn't become a journalist. I became a historian. I became an academic. I became a scholar. And I think for me, history and studying history is similar to journalism in a sense. It's just journalism on a much longer scale. It's about understanding the way the world is over long periods of time. I think fundamentally for me still, so that you can change it, so that you can actually make a difference. You can't understand how you can make the world a better place unless you understand what the world is and what makes some people poor and some people rich, what makes some people have opportunities and other people not have opportunities, and that's for me what history is all about. So, and I'm also lucky enough to still do politics, and I helped Labour politicians write speeches and write endless articles and etc. So I've managed to combine all these kind of things. So that's kind of my story, and I guess I don't know what the lesson of that story is. I think it's that, and it's the thing I wanted to emphasise really, which is that everything will change in your lives. You will change what you want to do, probably. The world will change around you, but the important thing is to have a sense of direction, to have a sense, to really have a sense of confidence, as Steve was saying, to have a sense of belief in yourself, that you can do something that gets you to the next stage. But if you like, I want to use the word vocation, which is a very old-fashioned word. It's a bit like the word gift. It's quite I'm not a very religious person, but it's a kind of religious word. A vocation is when there's a calling, something that you as a person really feel you have to do. It's the meaning of your life. I really believe in that. I believe that people have a vocation or have the possibility of finding a vocation, finding something that matters to them, that is their principle, the thing that drives them through life. And of course, the most important thing probably in our lives are going to be our family, the people we love. But beyond that, that sort of sense of your own kind of path through life, and it can be anything. It can be being a printer, can be supporting, can be sort of being a religious pastor, maybe it can be being a historian. It's just anything. It's the thing that gives you a sense of direction and purpose, and I think that's something that's important. And the point is, I think that may change, kind of actually what that means in practice for you, will change. I started off wanting to be a journalist. I'm not a journalist, but there's a journey, a single line, if you like, that connects together that original sense that I want to understand the world and write about it and change it, to then what I do now. That there's a single route there, and that's what I think is important. So my advice to you, I guess, is to be constantly reflecting on that, on your story. If you were telling a story about yourself, what would that story be? What's the plot? What's the beginning? Where do you start? Where do you want to go? What's the trajectory? And things will change. But it's having that sense of yourself and that sense of your direction, your vocation, what it is you want to do, your goal, your dreams, sort of that I think is really, really important. So anyway, let me talk a little bit then about sort of things a bit more practically. But before I do that, I wanted to kind of I mean, I've introduced myself. I think people should probably introduce themselves, if that's okay. You know, kind of. So everyone who's here, tell us about yourselves and what it is that you want to do, and what are you doing now, and what is it you want to do, and yeah. Who wants to?
Kuti, and I'm entrepreneur.
And you're on next. Is that right? And you're on next here. Yes, exactly. So I won't take too much of your time.
My name is Tutu. I'm a lawyer. I'm a pastor.
Hi, my name is Pradumi. I'm a university student.
And what are you studying, and what do you want to do with your life?
I'm studying graphic design right now,
Yeah.
and I want to design it.
Fantastic. Yeah, brilliant.
I am Adiola Olakuntoye. I work as an accountant.
My name's Ayo. I'm in uni as well, and I wanted to go into investment banking.
Cool.
My name's Adorio, and I'm about to start my A-levels.
About to start your
A-levels.
Cool, brilliant. You've already introduced yourself.
My name is Emmanuel Adebayo. I'm an IT consultant.
I'm Simon, and I'm a university student. I study biomedical science, and I'm not really sure what I want to do yet.
Do you enjoy biomedical science?
Yeah, I do.
Brilliant. Just a couple of things then about the way I see university, and the way, and if you like, what university is and how you think about before you graduate and after you graduate. Well, I think in the olden days, this is a phrase that my 5-year-old child likes, but it's, a long while ago, you went to university, you got a degree, you got a job. That was basically it. And you applied for a job, you applied for this thing, there's this thing called the milk round, where you'd go and see lots of employers, and then you pretty much know what you wanted to do, and you got a job, and that was pretty much it. You were probably going to stay in whatever career it was, accountant, doctor, blah, etc. for the rest of your career. And getting a job at the end of university was not hard. The bad news, obviously, as you know, is that world is tough, and it's really, things have changed, and the economy is getting better slowly, but it's to make that jump from university to the world afterwards is really difficult. And so it's it's not just about you doing well, getting your good degree, and then just leaving, and that's it. You have to, the onus really now is much more on you to, if you like, craft, if you like, that story I was talking about you as an individual, about how you're going to get a job. And so do well in your degree. Kind of do as well as you can, get the best result you can. But university is also an opportunity for you to be building links and connections beyond into the world after university. Otherwise you get to the end of university and suddenly there's this big cliff and you're like, oh no, what's going on? But this is a really bad metaphor. You've got to be building the connections for yourself, if you like. So, at university, university is a place where lots of people get together who can help and support you. Sort of not just with academic stuff, but other ways. So there's, societies, clubs, etc. You can join that are helpful in career terms. There's, people, academics, people who teach you, who you can get advice from, who can help, can give you sort of help with things like internships and that kind of stuff. And I just take advantage, while you're still at university, take advantage of that stuff. I mean, just your studies really have to come first, but then, you've got to be thinking about the story, that story that is going to be there in your CV when you apply for a job. It's going to say like degree in first class honours whatever in graphic design. That's great, but that's not going to be enough. You're going to have to show something else. You're going to have to show that you've really, practically, this thing that you want to be is something you're committed to. You have some kind of experience. You're energetic. You're enterprising. All those kind of things, which probably other people will talk about in a minute. So that's my first piece of advice really, is just to take advantage of whatever opportunities there are, in terms of networks and, clubs, societies, everything, be enterprising, kind of, and it's, it's sort of, it's, I think, as both Steve and I have said, it's to have that dream is what matters, to have that dream is crucial. But I think also the lesson probably from us both is you're not going to get there overnight, and that's a really hard thing to say, but you're not going to, and it's, to be that thing, you have to, often there's a stair you have to climb up, sort of, to end up as a historian, with a job in a history department takes ages, because you whatever. But same for every other profession, and I think there's a bit of a sense sometimes that when I talk to kind of young people that the thing you want is just something you can have if you get the right qualifications or whatever, and actually kind of keep that ambition in mind, keep that sort of the thing ahead of you that you want after however long. But there's a sort of process. There's a kind of and it maybe sounds a bit too negative, but there's a sort of like it could. What I'm trying to say is it could very well be a struggle kind of, to get there. But that struggle is what will form you as the person who will be able to be the brilliant graphic designer. You might have to do menial work. You might have to be the person who's just is not going to be doing the most interesting job from the moment you graduate. But kind of that's you will be doing it as you go on, and it's the sort of time you put in, into your first work environment, into the relationships around whatever job you're talking about, because that's crucial. The connections, the people who are doing, who are maybe can help you out in the future, but also the skills, just developing that over time. That's really important, I think. So that's kind of two pieces of advice, I guess. One is take advantage of whatever opportunities there are in your university and whatever environment you're in to kind of build connections and to build opportunities for yourself to develop in whatever way that you want to develop, kind of for that path that you're on, in terms of what kind of career you want. And secondly, it's a journey. It's a kind of there's a lot of steps you've got to go through to get to the place where you want to be, and you can't often it's not going to happen overnight. And I'm going to a negative example. My partner works for a big organisation, and they have apprentices, and there's some people, and it's a media organisation, and there's someone who was saying, one of the apprentices was saying, I want to be do news documentaries, kind of, and she's like, okay, that's fantastic, really, that's wonderful, that's a really great ambition, and she's saying, well, the first thing you should do is, spend time in the newsroom, just do the boring, but the basic journalism, of sort of spending time in the newsroom, learning how to gather news, whatever, then do this, then do that, and then you're going to end up in that. And this person's like, no, I just want to make news documentaries. It's like, but let's, I'm not sure if that person carried on working in that organisation, you know what I mean? But the dream is crucial, but the dream has got to connect to some kind of it's got to be a real story. It's not something that you don't get suddenly just arrive at the sort of like pinnacle overnight. It's something that takes a lot of time, and that's how you develop, and that's how you become really good at what it is you do. So is that too negative? Am I being too good? Because it's the dream is what matters. That's how you get there. If you could walk out the door and become a news documentary maker tomorrow, you'd be a rubbish news documentary. Let's face it. And it's the people who are really successful. Some of them it looks like they've done whatever they turn up and they do it overnight. But they haven't. I mean, even on like the talent show contests, kind of whatever it is, where these people stand up and start singing, like The Voice or whatever. Actually, these people, they've been singing for years, kind of years and years and years, so it's like hard work, but that sense of your mission, your purpose, and what you want to do. So, is that okay in terms of comments? Can I any questions and stuff, more specific things? Yeah. Well, I think we need to help people with that, and I don't think we do, and this is something I'm really angry about, actually, that I think that everyone has a vocation, there's a gift, whatever it is that people have, and I think that something that it should be our job as in schools and universities, those of us who work in them, to actually find that, and I don't think we do that very well. But I think that, but my advice is try different things, and actually kind of, I'm not making I mean, I think it's really important to not make a judgment about this, that people don't, it's like some of the most successful people haven't got the faintest idea what they're doing when they're 17, 18, 19, 20, 25, 30, 40, whatever. These things can happen at different times in your life. And that's really important. But I think that there are things everyone's enthusiastic about something, you know. Everyone, you know, I think what makes us human is that we care about stuff, you know, and that we have some, you know, that there are things that we actually are committed to, and, you know, and we don't put ourselves in the positions where we can, we expose ourselves to what we care about, to what matters to us, you know, and I think that's what, if you like, we have to do, and I think that's what I'm trying to say, that I think now what's changed is that you, unlike my generation, need to take responsibility for that and actually kind of, but, you know, look around, you know, if you think to yourself, okay, I don't know what to do, I'm not sure, you know, well, I mean, you know what you don't like, you know, don't do the things you don't like, and just give it a go, you know, sort of have a, you know, develop, you know, try things out. Is that, I don't know if that's a good enough answer, it's a bit of a, good, okay, good, but, other questions? Cool. Well, good luck. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jon Willson. I hope you actually got the points you made as well about the two things that we need at all times. So now it's our break. So it's a 30 minutes break. There's teas, coffees and biscuits on that side. I want you all to use this opportunity to like talk to each other, network, and actually get names. Because I'm going to test you guys after, see if we actually know the names of, no, I'm not really going to test you, but to see if we actually know the names of everyone. So there's not a lot of us, so we can actually get to know each other. So please do talk. And 30 minutes from now. So you can stay here or you can go over there, get some teas and coffees, however you like.